currently based in an area of China known for having a lower cost of living, but how low can it go? Today, I'm challenging myself to eat for a full day. I'm talking breakfast, lunch, and dinner for a mere $5 US. As always, don't forget to subscribe, and without further ado, let the challenge begin. Hello, and welcome to another Chinese food adventure. I am here in the beautiful Changchun. It has been a hot minute, but I am back, and I have to say, it feels very strange to be here in this city and to actually feel warm. It was a very, very long winter here. It was, I did the calculations once, it was actually over 6 months at below 0 degrees. And for me as an Australian, that was quite hard to deal with. This is a welcome change. I am soaking in all the rays today, but alas, we are not here to talk about the weather. We are here to eat some food. And as you may have seen in the introduction, I'm going to be challenging myself today to eat for a day in the city of Changchun for under $5 American. And it may sound like this is going to be a challenge, but the funniest thing about this challenge for me is that I don't think it's going to be a challenge at all. I actually think this is going to be exceptionally easy. So $5 is roughly 36 renminbi, and I actually think I'm going to eat like a queen for that amount today. So yeah, don't believe me? Hang around and see just how affordable eating in this city can be. First off of the day, it is breakfast. I'm coming to this place here. I've never been here before. I've always really wanted to try it. It's very hot on social media, but it's also very, very popular with locals. It's been here for 33 years, and they sell something called shaobing, which are like little baked cakes, and it seems they have quite a variety of flavors and fillings. They also have a sign here that says all their shaobing are freshly made and freshly baked, and that every 10 minutes new batches are coming out of the oven. You can actually see them at the back of the store making them right now. It's also very cheap. That's also why I wanted to try it today. From what I see on social media, it's like 1.5 renminbi for one shaobing. But when I got to the counter, I realized, shock and horror, they've increased their prices by an entire renminbi. But all good, we should still have enough room in the budget to order 2 of them. So the one she's grabbing there is the sweet sesame one, and that one there is the meat-filled one. I'm already a little bit over budget. I have now spent 4.5 renminbi, but I have gotten my 2 shaobing. My breakfast is right here. Let's find a place to pop a squat and give it a try. Maybe I try the savory one first. Savory first and then sweet. So this one is filled with meat. It's got some sesame on the outside there. Oh, it smells really good. What I really like about that place is everything is freshly made and freshly cooked. So every shaobing that you buy here are fresh. Oh, that's good. It's got a much more complex flavor than I was originally expecting. Firstly, the pastry is just absolute perfection. It's soft on the inside, crispy on the outside. You've got lots of layers there. I really like the sesame on top. It gives it a really nice fragrance. But what really brings this all together is that meat inside. It is so fragrant and aromatic. It feels like it's not just your typical kind of beef and onion filling or pork and onion filling, and it's really got some complexity in there. I really love the balance of flavors. It's slightly sweet, it's salty. I feel like I can taste some star anise in there and those kind of aromatics as well. So it really gives an exciting flavor to this. So the combination of that texture, the sesame, the meat, the softness, this crispiness, oh, it's really, really good. And I hope no one is about to hate me. Since we are eating a meat pie right now, and I'm Australian, I feel very strongly that a meat pie should be eaten with tomato sauce. So I have BYO tomato sauce. I just want to try. Just want to try. Just for the last bite, I'm just gonna try. There's no harm in trying. This guy sitting over here is like, what the hell is this girl about to do? I mean, I feel like this is about to be absolutely incredible. Oh boy. Now that is good. I'm almost wanting to spend another 2.5 renminbi out of budget just to have that experience again with more tomato sauce. That was phenomenal. Firstly, it really reminds me of Australia. We love our meat pies with tomato sauce, and when you put the tomato sauce on it, I feel like you just have that exact same vibe, the crispy pastry, the soft meat on the inside. Amazing. So I feel like on one hand, I've found a treat that really reminds me of Australia. But I also feel like the tomato sauce adds an extra freshness on its own. Maybe a few of those shaobing might get a little bit too rich, but put some of that tomato sauce, you'll be eating pies all day. Anyway, we've had our savory. Now let's move on to sweet. This one I believe is the top seller. It is the tianmajiang sweet sesame sauce shaobing. And it's very soft. I was actually kind of taken aback because it looks like it might be quite solid, but it's very, very soft and very, very moist. It looks so freaking good. Really layered in there as well. I also don't want to look too closely at this because if I look at it, it really reminds me of a cinnamon roll, but I know the taste isn't gonna be like a cinnamon roll. I feel like this is something that definitely grows on you as you eat it. My first bite, maybe it's because I just had something with a lot of flavor. That meat pie was a lot of flavor. And this is a bit more muted. It's not super sweet at all. It's slightly sweet, but I wouldn't put this in my mouth and be like, oh, I'll have this for dessert. What I can really appreciate about it is how fresh it is. It is just so soft and fresh. The bottom has this really nice, not crust, but it almost looks a bit caramelized on the bottom there. Maybe there's a little bit of brown sugar or something. Also a little bit of sesame seeds as well, so you got a little bit of that flavor coming through. But I think it's one of those things you just like keep eating and it becomes more and more moreish. Yeah, by my last bite, I can definitely say I would definitely order that again. Man, what an amazing breakfast this has been. I really like both of those for different reasons. Okay, breakfast is done and dusted. I've got a couple of hours to kill before lunch, so I thought I'd go and grab myself a coffee. And I will not be including this coffee in my 36 renminbi budget for obvious reasons. Well, first, I never specified that drinks were included. And secondly, if I was to include it in my budget, there would be no more budget. I would be blowing the whole thing and more on just my coffee. So that's really the paradox of living here in Changchun, where you can spend, 4.5 renminbi on this deliciously filling breakfast, but on the other hand, literally on the other hand, spend 47 renminbi on a medium cup of iced coffee. So just as a reference, 47 renminbi, that's 650 American dollars, 6 euros, and almost 10 Australian dollars. Like in Australia, prices are definitely rising with inflation, but I wouldn't have spent recently when I was back more than 4 Australian dollars on a cup of coffee. So it's sometimes just an interesting feeling living here where you feel like sometimes you spend way less than you would expect on some things, but then way more than you'd expect on other things. And you've also got areas like this where I am right now. It's a real hip, new, modern neighborhood. You've got, this cafe. It was the first one in the entire province of this Arabica coffee. I was very excited about it. I do enjoy a good cup of coffee and I will spend 10 Australian dollars on it if I need to. But it's just interesting living here where you've got this new city kind of emerging within this more traditional one, but you can definitely still get in touch with both sides of the city. And that's part of why I really like living here, and what I'm really learning about this city is seeing all these contrasts everywhere. Case in point, directly across the road from this new fancy mall, you've got a man doing his thing, selling baked sweet potato and corn. You see this all over the place in Changchun, just people on the side of the road baking sweet potatoes or selling fruits on the back of their truck. My personal favorite is near where we live, there's a guy that sells his produce on the back of a donkey. One thing I'll definitely say about these newer, more modern areas is don't let appearances fool you. Around 90% of the signs here are in English, but if you live here, you spend some time here, you'll realize that very little English is actually spoken. So if you're wanting to visit Changchun or China or any other country really, it's always good to learn a little bit of the local language so you can communicate a little bit. And the language learning tool I have been recommending for years that I myself use is of course Rosetta Stone. It's a language learning app, it teaches through immersion, and it just has a special way of having vocabulary and grammar and phrases actually sticking around in my head. Using the app, you can expect exercises like matching speakers' audio to visuals, participating in conversational dialogue. You've also got so many pronunciation tools, which is a godsend when learning Mandarin. The thing you need to know about Mandarin is it's a tonal language, and sometimes if you mess up even just one tone in a sentence, it can completely change the meaning of that sentence. So the pronunciation feature on Rosetta Stone is very, very useful for telling you when you get something right, but sometimes more importantly when you get something wrong, so you can fix it and learn from your mistakes. So if you're interested in trying out Rosetta Stone for yourself, you can check out the link in my description. There is currently an incredible 60% off the lifetime subscription, and that means you're going to have lifetime access to Rosetta Stone and all of the languages that it offers. So for whatever your next holiday destination, wherever you're planning to do a gap year or go on exchange or retire, Rosetta Stone will be there to help you learn the local language along the way. 谢谢. Okay, so what we are about to have for lunch is a dining concept very, very popular in the northeast of China called He Fan. And Hefan basically means boxed lunch, but it goes way beyond a boxed lunch. This is more like a buffet, and you can find these all over Changchun. They often say on the front of the store how many renminbi you're about to spend for basically all you can eat. So I've only ever done this Hefan concept one time before, and I have to say I was very, very impressed, both by the quality of the food, the taste of the food, the turnover was really high, it was really, really popular, and it was just in general a good feed, and I think just a no-brainer for this challenge video today. So let's get inside and see just how much you can get for 13 renminbi. Okay, so I just paid 13 renminbi. I get a plate here, and basically I go and eat as much as I want. Quite a big buffet. We start out over here, which is the cold section. Here you've got things like fresh lettuce, cucumber, spring onion, lots of dips, also lots of cold dishes that I'm definitely going to be going for in this hot weather today. Now we head over to the hot dishes. We have some kind of pork blood dish, it looks like here. Oh, this is always really good. It's like mashed potato with eggplant. Love that. We've got some egg and chives, potatoes here, tofu, noodles. It looks really, really good. And then of course over here we have some carbs. We have rice. We have little breads here. We also have some potatoes over there. And this is something here that I didn't see at the other Hefan concept I had before. We've got some iron pot stews here. That looks really, really fragrant and delicious. Some fish and some tofu. Keep in mind, this is all 13 renminbi, all you can eat. The entire business model of these Hefan places is built on turnover. Lots of people eating food made in bulk. And because these places are so busy, new fresh dishes are also constantly being brought out. So not only is it cheap, it's fresh too. Oh, oh, that looks so good. This has just come out. He's like, get in before it's eaten. I mean, I'm one of the first people here, but it's already almost gone. Oh, now that is going to be really tasty. Then I'm going to get one of these plates. Now this is a local trick, guys. First you get some rice, then scoop some of that eggplant potato mash I showed you earlier on top. And then I like to add a little bit of chili oil on top. And voila, there we have it, round one of our $1.79 all-you-can-eat buffet. So it blew me away the first time, and it continues to blow me away. Just the value for money at these Hefan restaurants. Incredible variety. You've got such a high turnover. Dishes are always coming out. Talking of dishes always coming out, the dish that came out when I was up there, and I was lucky enough to be one of the first people to get into it, and within a minute it was completely gone. It's these, I think it might be pork. Oh, it's good. It's less sweet than I was expecting. It's actually more on the salty side. It was very nice. Fresh meat, hot. It's good. Okay, so I'm at the point where I've had a little bit of everything on my plate so far, and everything is good. You know, it's not going to win any awards, but it's tasty, it fills the hole, it's home style, it's very cheap. It'll set you up for a day ahead of whatever it is that you're doing. It'll get all your macros in. And I think this really shows you how far $5 can actually get you in Changchun. Because if we got this for breakfast, lunch, and dinner, we would just be 3 renminbi over budget. We would be at 39 renminbi, but we would have an all-you-can-eat buffet for every single meal. And that would just be a little bit over $5. So yeah, I had no worries about this challenge. But having said that, this is 13 renminbi plus 4.5, that's 17.5 renminbi. I'm not very good at maths, so I'm just gonna get out my calculator to do this. So 36 minus 17.5 is, okay, we have 18.5 renminbi left for dinner, which, easy, too easy. But let's not get too ahead of ourselves talking about dinner. We still have our lunch to go. I'm only halfway through here. We've only really had plate number 1. This is one of my favorite things to get in Dongbei. It's the eggplant potato mash. And it's so, so good. I love it with rice. When you mix it together, it just adds this extra texture. It's just it's a bowl full of carbs. I mean, even this on its own would fill you up for a day. Oh, so good. After a few plates of food, I was so full, I even had doubts I'd want to eat dinner later. I mean, who am I kidding? Of course there's going to be dinner. It's me after all. But before we head to dinner, I thought I'd take you guys for a little bike ride through this park here. I come here quite a bit to ride my bike. It's just near Deok's office. And if you guys weren't aware, Deok, my fiance, he works at Audi in the car industry here in Changchun. And the car industry is something that Changchun is quite well known for. A lot of cars are produced here, and a lot of car companies are based here. And the park we are currently driving through right now, it is like dedicated to cars. It is the literal car park. And as you ride around here, there are all these little like
car-related sculptures and cars in lakes, and it's all car-themed, which I think is pretty cute and also makes for a nice little ride around. Another thing I really love about living in Changchun is because the weather is so harsh and cold for so much of the year, people really make the most of the warm weather and the good weather while they have it. So in Changchun, as soon as the warm weather hits, you'll see along all the rivers, in all the parks, you'll see all these tents starting to pop up and little day tripper kind of setups where people have, you know, a little grill going. Well, it's approaching 6 p.m. I might head in a direction of the local mall to find myself some dinner. I mean, 18.5 renminbi, that is not in any way gonna be a challenge to find something to eat. The question is, what do I feel like eating? 18.5, that'll get me a big bowl of noodles or some tudoufen. Maybe I can look at getting some xiaokao. Lots of xiaokao places popping up around here now that it's summertime. People eating on the street, it's so nice.
Walking down the street, my eye drew me to this pile of corn husks, where yet again we have a roasted corn station.
烤玉米是吧？多少钱？5块钱一个，好吃吗？
好吃，今天玉米好吃。
今天的玉米好吃，昨天的不好吃吗？
甜的，真好吃。
OK， 好，我来一个。
Oh, look at this yumi. Freshly baked on the side of the road. Let's try this corn. Apparently today's is super sweet. Yesterday's not sweet. Oh, one thing about me, I love corn. And I particularly like this variety of corn. It's not like the corn I grew up with in Australia, which is extremely yellow, quite sweet and juicy. They call that kind of corn here 水果玉米, like fruit corn. But this style, it's quite chewy actually, and it's more white in color. So I don't know, you might have seen that corn there and been wondering, why is it so white? And that's because it's a different variety of corn. I feel like it makes for better baking and better just like on the go snack corn, you know what I mean?
So if my calculations are correct, we have 13.5 renminbi left for the rest of our day. There's a cute little xiaokao place over here with these tables and these little chimneys that I want to go and check out. 是烧烤吗？
不是，是烤肉。
我可以看一下你的菜单吗？
可以啊。
Just see if I can afford it. 烤肉和烧烤有什么区别呢？
烧烤它是那个在那个火顶烤，咱们这是搁这个铁板顶上那个烤。
哦，谢谢谢谢，我就看一下。
中文说的这么好。
没有。I mean, as much as I want to try this out, the only variety of meat on this menu that I can afford are the chicken hearts. And I mean, no hate on chicken hearts, I just don't feel like that being like my main dinner option here. I think I'm gonna have to keep walking. 不好意思，下次吧。谢谢。Oh, such a shame. That looked really, really cool. Definitely want to come back there and try that out one day.
I have to say, after seeing that curry roll place, my mind is on the meat. So when I saw this place serving barbecue skewers, I decided, yep, that's what I feel like. I've decided on xiaokao. They have this open fridge concept here, and basically you can just choose whatever you like. I've been told that these meat sticks are all 2 renminbi each, so by this logic, I can get 7. Yeah. I mean, it's not fancy, but it is vibey. I am just out here on the street. People are selling their fruit around, and I know I've only ordered a few skewers, but with the amount that I've eaten today, and also I have the rest of my corn here, it's going to be more than enough for me today. My xiaokao has arrived. It is a pretty pitiful plate. It is quite small, but I know it's going to fill me up just fine. I've had quite a lot to eat today. So I have ordered myself a mantou on a skewer, which is actually one of my favorite xiaokao items. I feel that it gets so like chewy on the barbecue, and I like it way better than bread on the barbecue. It's actually it gets really crunchy on the outside, and I love the spices that they put on, and it goes so well with a little bit of meat actually. Perfection. Also got this one here, which is enoki mushrooms wrapped in bacon. Always a lovely combo. I've got that crunch inside from the enoki, and saltiness and smokiness from the bacon, and those spices and cumin. I haven't had xiaokao in ages, and definitely when it comes to xiaokao, Dongbei, this area, northeast China, they do it really well. Well, this has been so much fun. Definitely want to be doing this a bit more often. It wasn't so much a challenge per se. It was eating within a budget, but I think next time I'm going to try to really challenge myself. Maybe eating for under $1 here in Changchun. That might be something interesting to look into. But yeah, the food has been amazing. Thank you guys so much for watching. As always, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And I will see you next week on my channel.